Hi there! Are you interested in stock trading but have no idea where to go to get started? In today's video, we're going to cover the different platforms where you can trade stocks regardless of how much money you have. Welcome back to Invest in You, your channel for personal and financial growth. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe now to stay tuned with the latest releases about personal and financial investment, especially passive income. And before I dive into the content, I'll give you 5 seconds to take care of that subscription right now. Alright, so let's dive into today's content now and learn all about the available platforms you can use for stock trading as well as their pros and cons. And without further ado, let's dive into the first platform for today, which is RobinHood. Now, you all heard wonders about RobinHood and how much of a great platform it is because you get to trade commission free and you don't have to worry about paying any fees and stuff like that. So that's one of the perks that the platform has to offer. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you right now so you can actually get an idea or a sense of what all of the features this application has to offer. So we're now logged into my screen. The application or RobinHood itself actually has two versions. It has the iPhone or the Android application that you can use as well as the desktop. My preference is to use the phone application. I think it's very user-friendly, especially for those who are beginners into stock trading. Now, we're on the main screen of my stock. As you can see, I have certain holdings right here. And we're going to go into the icon on the upper left corner that you see here, the little person that you see in the corner. And we're going to open up the menu. And you're going to see that one of the greatest things that it offers is free stocks. And how do you get to those free stocks? Well, it's through the referral programs. So when you refer a friend, you actually get to earn a free stock as well as your friend. So the more you share, the more you get to win a free stock available. And they go from a range that varies from Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, GE, you name it. The more you share the joy of stock investing, the more stocks you're going to get to own down in the future. So that's one of the great perks that RobinHood has to offer. Then the other one that I really like a lot is their banking features. You're going to see here on the third row from top to bottom that it allows you for automatic deposit. That can actually save you from a big headache. You will not have to worry about transferring money from your bank account and then making sure that it's there. You can actually just set it up and just be worry free, and whenever you're ready and you have done your proper research to start trading on stock, you should actually come in here and be able to find your money readily available for you to start trading. Another option that I like here on their banking is that they have the ability to transfer stocks from any of the other brokerage accounts right here. And the beauty of this is that it is actually commission free as well. So you don't have to pay any fees to transfer money or to transfer any of the available stocks that you have in your current brokerage account into RobinHood as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. We're going to click on continue. And as you can see here in the screen, they have different brokerage houses ranging from Vanguard, Fidelity, and all of these that you see right here in the list. If you don't see your brokerage account right here, don't worry, you can actually go ahead and just select other and just type in the name of your brokerage account. For those who don't really understand what a brokerage account means, it's basically an account that you create for stock trading. It's kind of like when you have a checking account so you can deposit money and you can make purchases with that. A brokerage account, it's an account that is used solely for the purpose of trading stocks. So that's one of the features, one of the many. But my favorite here, let me just go back, is actually RobinHood Gold. And what does that mean is that RobinHood is actually a membership that you pay. And what it does is that it allows you up to 2 times buying power, and it allows you to trade in extending hours. What does that mean exactly? It just means that you're not confined to the usual 9 to 4 hours of trading. You can actually trade after the stock market closes, and it's all available through this membership. The other good perk that I like is that you can actually trade with borrowed money. Although you have to remember that my rule of thumb when it comes to investing is that you have to invest what you're willing to lose. Nothing is guaranteed in the future, but assuming that you actually know this, having the ability to trade up to 2 times your buying power, it's great because let's assume, for example, sometimes, and I'm going to keep scrolling the screen so you can actually see, sometimes when you transfer money from your account into the brokerage account, you are limited in terms of the number of days that you have to wait for your money to transfer and then settle into your brokerage account. So let's say if you find a stock, let's say for example Tesla, since we've been using Tesla in prior videos, you find Tesla to have a great price, and then all of a sudden you want to go ahead and trade, but your money hasn't really settled yet, and you don't want to miss out on the opportunity because you might not know that whether tomorrow the price is going to go up or down. So you want to buy it today. And basically having the gold membership allows you to go in, borrow money, trade on the price that you want to trade on, and then once your money is finally transferred and settled in your Robinhood account, you can go ahead and actually pay that money back. And that way you don't miss out on the great deal and the great price that you get to, otherwise would have not been able to get to because of the lack of funds in your account, because you had to wait all those extended period of times. So that's it on that. And then extended trading hours, and then instant access to funds. So all of that have been covered. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Right. So while all of it is good, I'm going to share one more thing. So let's say, for example, what I like about this application as well is that, let's say, since we've been using Tesla as an example, this is very similar to iStocks in your iPhone, where you can actually look up a stock and you can have access to charts and the timeline, and as to how far you actually want to go see it, whether it's 5 years, 1 year, 3 years, and it gives you links to the different news platforms that are available right here, and it gives you like a quick snapshot of the stats of the stock. It gives you the open price, the highs, the lows, and then how much of the volume is available out in the market for trading and how volatile it is. It also gives you a snapshot of like the earnings over the prior quarters, and a little bit of a glossary or summary about the stock itself and what the company does and stuff like that. So all of this is available in a one-stop shop. Now, while all of this sounds great, like everything else, nothing is perfect, right? So you will find some limitations with Robinhood, and some of those limitations are actually the fact that Robinhood has a limited stock inventory. So sometimes you might not be able to find all of the stocks available on this platform. It also has the lack of tools and reports, meaning you will not be able to do price predictions or price forecasting in here because it just simply doesn't allow you to do that. And it doesn't give you specialized reports and where professional analysts have done the research and put all of the information gathered together just so you can actually review that. So you're actually limited in that end. And it doesn't allow for fractional purchases. So let's say, for example, if you want to trade a stock like Tesla, which is on the 300 plus range, that means if you have only $100, you will not be able to trade on Tesla. You're going to have to either wait to come up with all of the $300 plus, or just simply select a more affordable choice that you can afford. It has no recommendations. So even though I mentioned that this is a great tool for beginners, if you are a beginner, sometimes it might be a little overwhelming for you to decide what to trade on. So this platform doesn't really give you a recommendation in terms of the popular stocks that most people have been trading on, or depending on your age range, maybe this is what let's say the millennials are actually trading on right now and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of a research on your own before you actually come into this platform and decide what to trade on. There's no limit trading. For those who don't know what limit trading is, it's actually the ability for you to come in and schedule a trade so it can be executed at a certain price of your choice. So let's say if you want to go in and buy at a price lower than the $300 plus on Tesla, let's say, I don't know, let's make up a number, 220, then you can go ahead and schedule an order, a limit order, to execute a certain amount of share purchases at a price of $220. And the same thing goes the opposite way when you're trying to sell. So let's say you have high expectations or have hopes that the price of the Tesla shares can go up to $350 as opposed to the 330 something range that it is right now, then you can go ahead and actually schedule that and just let it run on itself, and once it hits that price, then it will go ahead and sell the amount of shares that you have scheduled at that specified price range. So with Robinhood, you're actually a little bit limited on that end. When you want to sell, you're gonna have to sell at whatever market price people are trading on at the moment. Not necessarily bad, but just something for you to consider. And they have limited products in the sense that this platform is only limited to stock tradings and ETFs, exchange trading funds. I'm going to do a complete different video on ETFs, but this platform does not offer choices such as the ability to open up a Roth IRA or an IRA or maybe another form of a retirement plan or maybe a college saving fund and stuff like that. This is solely used for the purpose of stock trading and ETFs tradings. It has no gift program. So if you come in and let's say, oh, I want to buy an X number of stocks and just gift this to, I don't know, a sibling or my significant other or a child, you're going to have to make the purchase under your name and then do a stock transfer. It doesn't allow you to just go ahead and make a purchase on the stock under the name of that specific person that you want to give this to. And I didn't mention this before, but Robinhood does have the ability to trade on cryptocurrencies, but that's actually a new feature under Robinhood that I believe it was announced back in January 2018. We're up to March right now, but depending on the state that you live, you might not be able to trade on crypto because the way they're doing is that they're rolling out their crypto platforms in a batch that includes a certain number of states. So if you live in a state where the platform has been rolled out, then awesome, go ahead and trade on crypto if you're interested in crypto. But if you live in a state like, let's say, New York, where I reside, you might have to wait when it comes to trading on crypto. So that's something for you to keep in mind. So that's it for Robinhood. I have another platform that I believe, in my opinion, it's awesome. And one of them it's called Stockpile. So what exactly is Stockpile? Stockpile is great because it allows you to do fractional purchases. It means that if you're interested in a stock like Tesla, which is trading for 300 plus, and you only have $100 available, you can go ahead and only buy $100 worth of that stock. So for illustration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and type in here the ticker for Tesla, TSLA. And then you're going to go ahead and, as you can see, so Tesla is currently being traded at $333. You're going to go ahead and to buy, and then just type in $100, or just use one of the icons on the top that you want to buy. And then it shows you the number of estimated shares that you're going to get out of Tesla, which is 0.2999. And then you're going to go in next and you go ahead and just going to buy. So just one thing, keep in mind that depending on what you choose, whether you want to choose to pay with a credit card or with a certain, let me see. If you want to pay with a credit card, the fees are actually fairly high. It's $5.99. But if you do have a bank account where you transfer your money into here, I know that the fees are actually 99 cents. Whichever way you decide to trade on, whether it's with a credit card or by transferring money from your bank account, just keep in mind that the fees can actually eat up into your gains. So if you're trying to do this multiple times a day or multiple times a week, to try to acquire a number of fractional stocks, just keep in mind that the fees might just reduce the amount of profit that you might get. So that's something for you to keep in mind and consider. Another great feature of Stockpile is the fact that they also have a mobile and a desktop platform. My personal recommendation is to go with a mobile platform. It's actually very user-friendly, and it's also great for beginners who are trying to learn on how to trade on stock. As you can see here, it gives you the availability to, let me just sign it right now. So that's the reason why I can show you. So let me just show you really quick. If you want to buy and you have money in your account, so you have $100 available to trade, and as you can see here down at the bottom, the trade commission is 99 cents, like I mentioned before. So let me get out of here, and now you have the ability to do a gift program. And so let me see, you're gonna go into the light bulb. Oh no, sorry, my bad. You're gonna go into the gift icon at the very bottom, on the bottom right corner, and you get the choice to give people, you know, the gift of stock, like they call it here. So let's say I'm interested in buying for my nephew $50 worth of Disney stocks, right? So you're gonna go ahead and add it to the cart, and then you're gonna go to the cart and then go through the whole checkout process, and you can see you can actually put in the name here and then the recipient's email, and then it's gonna go on its way out to whoever you want to give the stocks to. Another thing that I like about this is that if you're actually new and you don't really know what to purchase, they give you a set of recommendations of stocks here that a lot of people happen to be trading on. As you can see, Amazon is actually one of them, Disney, Apple, Facebook. So here's one way to go about it. And then another option is that you can go into the little magnifying glass, and then you get to choose the top stock popular this month, and then you're going to see all of the popular stocks that have been trading this month, in particular in March. So like I said, if you're actually a beginner and you have no idea where to get started, this should be a good segue for you to go in and reduce the number of stocks that you will otherwise not know about or learn about. And then you just come in here and just simply open, let's just choose Facebook, and I will give you the stats of Facebook. How much is it been trading today? $180. Was the price trend on a weekly basis? It actually went down, as we can see here, sometime in March, and then it seems like it's coming back up again in March. And so we're going to do this for a year. Hopefully it loads faster sooner rather than later. There you go. And then very similar to Robinhood, you're going to see a snapshot of the stats. You're going to get to see the open, the highs, the lows, how much of the volume is being traded publicly, and then access to the news, as you can see here. And you get to choose to actually add them to your watch list under well, now I have it under on watch because I'm not following Facebook, but it is actually a good functionality for you to keep monitoring the stock if you're not sure. So then you add it to it's kind of like your wish list, right? So you add it into your stock and you keep monitoring for the next couple of days or so, and then once you gather enough information, you make a decision on whether you want to go ahead and buy or just skip it, right? So that's it for the recommendations. You also have it based on what you love. So if you love fashion, then you have a recommendation for fashion stocks, gaming, money, luxury. I'm actually curious about this. So let me see what luxury stocks are. Oh, there you go. You have Hermes, you have Prada, Jaguar. There you go. So an endless list of recommendations, nicely catered to you if you don't know where to start. So here's your starting point. Let me see what else. Oh, I like the resources part. So if you go into the little light bulb here, it gives you like short lessons, little quick wins, cheat sheets. What is a stock? Stock market basics, how to understand the Dow Jones, stock symbols, initial public offering. It will help you to understand dividends, stock splits, and earnings. Actually, one of my favorite tools here, it's under the quick start guide, and then growth calculator. So it helps you with a projection on in terms of how much money you can make depending on how much money you put in away today. So let's say, for example, if you have the ability to put $200 a month, right? And the growth rate, let's say you expect to earn an interest, according to your research, you expect to earn an interest of, oh, I don't know, let's just pick a middle ground, 5% as a growth rate. By you putting $200 a month, you will expect to see $2,466 in a year, 13,662 within 5 years, and then 31,203 within 10 years. This is just assuming that you put $200 a month, right? Let's say that's a number for you to start. Then eventually, 6 months down the road, you can actually afford an extra 100. Then you can add the 300. You can bring it up to 300, and then you can see the numbers changing. So now the 10-year horizon, it looks like it's gonna give you a 46,804 return, and then so on. So this is one of those great, easy to use phone applications. It gives you the ability to go ahead and just start trading right away and learn a little bit. So let's say if you're not sure in terms of how much money you want to invest, but you want to start with like a low sum, this is the right stock for you. Now, just like with everything, Stockpile has its great perks, but sometimes, just like with everything, you might find some limitations. And one of those limitations is that it is not commission free. So the more volumes you make or you trade on throughout the day or weekly, depending on how often you want to do it, you're going to have to consider those trading costs. $5.99, I believe it was, for a credit card, and 99 cents if you choose to wire your money directly from your bank account. Again, it can get expensive over time if you plan to do this in the long term. It doesn't have the lending services that RobinHood Gold gives you. So if you happen to transfer money and you see a great price with a stock and your money is not there, sorry, you're going to have to wait for the money to be finally transferred into your account. It doesn't give you any limit trading, so you can't schedule anything at a specified price. Whatever price is available, that's the price that you're going to be trading on. Now you might think, well, it doesn't really make a difference if I'm trading with $100. It does, because if the stock goes down, then that $100 can allow you to get a higher percentage of that share versus the price of the stock going up, and you eventually getting a less of a percentage on that particular stock if it does go up. It has limited product, very similar to RobinHood. It doesn't give you the option to purchase a retirement program or a college fund program. This is only limited to stock purchases. It doesn't give you the ability to buy crypto. Not sure if you're really into crypto, but if this is something you were considering on trading, then this is definitely not the platform for you. And that's it for Stockpile. Now, the next tool we're going to go into, it's going to be Vanguard. Okay, so now we're into my account. And so we're going to go ahead and go straight into my account, buy, sell on the Vanguard. And as you can see here, one of the great stuff, or one of the great things about Vanguard, is the fact that you have all of these available tools and products that you can actually trade on, right? So one of them is the ability to buy mutual funds, and the option to have any CD accounts, or the ability to get access to retirement funds, open a college fund, emergency fund. So this is not something that Robinhood or Stockpile allows you to do. But just keep in mind that, with an account like Vanguard, you will have to have a minimum of $1,000 to be able to have an account with them. So that's one of the trade-offs. But if you do have $1,000 available to invest, try considering one of these platforms. Vanguard and Charles Schwab is another one. I'm going to go into the details of Charles Schwab's later. But having an account in Vanguard gives you access to a lot of different options that you would otherwise not have access to if you use the other two platforms. So let's say I want to come in here and I want to trade stocks and listed securities, right? So you're going to come in here and you have the option to, let's say we're going to go ahead and buy. And then you're going to buy a stock like Tesla, since that's the example we've been using. And it gives you the stats on the right. And let's say, for the purpose of illustration, we're going to buy one share. And it gives you the option to buy market, limit, or stop. Like I mentioned, a market trade or a market order is when you go in and buy the stock at whatever price is available right now, as of now. When you do a limit is when you schedule the order, and a stop or a stop limit is basically designed to prevent you to continue to lose more money down the road. But given that this is a beginner's video, I'm not going to focus on stop and stop limit. That's going to be a topic for another video. But for today, we're going to go ahead and do a practice with a limit stock, since I wanted to sort of illustrate the capability. So let's say you see here that the price of Tesla as of today, March 5th, is $333.35. But according to your research, you think that the price is going to go down, I don't know, I'm just going to make up a number here, 320, right? So you go in and you schedule this 320, and you have the option to do it within the day or within 60 days. So you're going to head and you book an order. Let's say you're not in a rush because you think that eventually it's going to hit 320. You schedule the trade for 60 days. You do have to, however, keep into consideration the commission fees in here. But hey, if you think the price is going to go down from 333 to 320, you're saving an average of, let's say, $13. So that $7 commission is well worth it, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. So that's it for Vanguard. Like I mentioned before, every single platform, every single tool has its pros and cons. So I already showed you the good perks of our Vanguard. Now we're going to have to go over, the downsides of Vanguard. Same thing as with Robinhood. It doesn't give you any recommendations because this platform is actually more of an advanced platform. It assumes that you sort of have some idea what you're doing in here when you come in and trade. And if you don't, they offer personalized services. They have support numbers that you can actually call in, but don't expect them to tell you exactly what to buy. What they can do is just to walk you through how to use the platform, and then teach you kind of like more of like the fundamental on how to do research and stuff like that. But they will definitely not say, oh, this is the stock that you should buy according to the volumes that we've been trading. It also doesn't allow you to do fractional purchases like you do in Stockpile. You do, like I mentioned before, have to have a portfolio minimum of $1,000. So if you can afford $1,000, great. If not, then I suggest you to start trading with the other platforms and wait a little bit until you have sufficient money, and then you will have the option to either transfer all of those stocks into Vanguard or just open an account with $1,000 whenever you manage to save enough money and start trading with Vanguard. They don't have a gift program. So what you're going to have to do is basically go in, purchase the stock under your name, and then request a service to have whatever stocks that you purchase to be gifted to that other person or the individual that you're trying to send those stocks to as a gift. And lastly but not least, it doesn't allow you the option to do crypto trading. So you're going to have to look into other various platforms to perform your crypto trading if that's something that you are interested in doing. So that's it for Vanguard. Now we're going to move on to the most advanced out of the four that I'm going to cover today, and that is Charles Schwab. Okay, so we're finally into our Charles Schwab account, and so what we're going to do, we're going to go into trade, and once you're inside trade, you're going to go ahead and you're going to select trade stocks. Now, one of the great functions or one of the great functionalities about Charles Schwab is the ability to trade on standard hours. So it's very similar to RobinHood on that end. And two, it gives you a wide range of products that you can actually trade on. So you have the choice of doing options, mutual funds, CDs, bonds, futures. Keep an eye on IPOs. For those who don't know, an IPO is an initial public offering, meaning that's when a company goes public and starts selling their shares for the first time. So usually when that happens, you get to be the first one in line to go ahead and buy those stocks, as opposed to waiting for a certain amount of time before you can go in. And it also gives you the choice of having a watch list as well, kind of like a wish list for your stocks and stuff like that. And they have lots and lots of trading tools that you can leverage to do your trading. But I'm going to let you play around with that. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to go ahead and click on trade stocks. And very similar to what we did with the other three platforms, we're going to come in here and type in Tesla. And then as an option, you're going to go ahead and select buy. We're not going to go over shorts like I mentioned before. That will be a topic for another video. And then for illustration purposes, we're going to do one share. And here you go, same thing. You have the choice of doing a market order, a limit, a stock, or a stock limit. So we're going to play around with a limit, and let's say same thing. We believe that out of the 333.35, the stock of Tesla may potentially drop to 320. And then you get to choose the timing of how long you want to do this. You want to do this indefinitely, good until cancel, or fill or kill, and then cancel if not fill immediately or to its entirety, meaning as soon as it happens, like right now. And you're just going to go ahead. I will normally prefer good until cancel, which is typically good for 60 days or until you cancel if it happens before the 60 day. And then you just go ahead and review the order. And that's it. So you verify the stats and then you just go ahead and do the orders. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because I'm not going to purchase anything today. So that's it on the good side of Charles Schwab. Again, I have to do this. One of the cons of this particular platform is the fact that it also doesn't give you any recommendations. You're going to have to do the research on your own. They're not going to do suggestions or on the most popular traded stocks and etc. It doesn't allow you fractional purchases, so that's something that you have to consider as well. They do have a portfolio minimum of $1,000. However, you can actually waive that minimum if you set up a checking account with them, a high yield checking account, and where you have to do a deposit of $100 every month, I believe, and then you don't have to worry about maintaining that $1,000 portfolio minimum. So that's something for you to consider. I mean, eventually, if you have to transfer money into your brokerage account to start trading, I don't really think that the $100 is actually a bad deal, but that's something for you to determine. And there's no gifting program as well. So you're going to have to buy the stocks under your name and then do the same deal of calling the brokerage house and then transferring it manually. And again, there's no crypto available for you to trade. So if that's something you're considering, then you're going to have to look into a different platform to trade. I'm actually going to go ahead and create a video or a series of videos that are going to go over the different trading platforms for crypto, the pros and cons, just like I've been doing with stocks. But as of today, this is all I have for you on trading platforms. Don't forget to stay tuned and just look into whatever content that we have. Hopefully we hope that you find this useful. Don't forget to subscribe, please, and give me a thumbs up on this video. And we'll hope to see you back again soon. And stay tuned. Until then, ciao!